Tansei, Okimau Pi Sim, Istai Atami Iltuin, Omati Wik. My traditional Cree name is Young Buffalo Singer. I am grateful to be here with you. My name is Zachary Pullen. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a citizen of the Chippewa Cree Nation of Rocky Ball, Montana, and the Communications Director for Seattle's Department of Neighborhoods. Thank you all so much for being here today. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the moment we're in because, well, this nation is really going through it. And obviously our city has had a little bit of a heartbreak of its own last night. So, but one thing that we're going to do today is going to spend our time being in community, which is something that Dawn really loves to do. So before we get things started, first we're going to hear some brief remarks from Seattle's Mayor Bruce Harrell, with some pre-recorded remarks because he couldn't be here with us today. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hello everyone, I am Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell, and thank you for being here today at the Department of Neighborhood's 2025 Open House. Now, when the City of Seattle created the Department of Neighborhoods more than 30 years ago, it was built on a simple but powerful idea. Our city works best when people are connected to their government and when government listens to the people it serves. That idea is just as urgent today as it was then. In fact, it may even be more important now because our neighborhoods are where city government truly comes alive, where residents experience our policies and our programs and our promises. The Department of Neighborhood is the city's connector. They bring voices to the table that might otherwise be left out. They build trust where it often doesn't exist. And they help all of us, every department represented in this room. They make our work stronger, more efficient, and more meaningful. They're not a nice to have, they are a key function of this city. Without Dawn, our work risks being disconnected from the very people we are here to serve. So today, I want each of you to think about how you can partner more deeply with Dawn, bring them in early, invite their expertise, let their programs and their relationships and their equity work amplify what you do. Because when Dawn is at the table, the City of Seattle can deliver on its promises. I want to thank Director Jenifer Chao and the entire Department of Neighborhoods team. And thank all of you for being here to strengthen the bonds between our government and the people of Seattle.
Thank you. All right. Thank you to Mayor Harrell for his kind words and welcome this afternoon. Today's event is actually our second open house, so thanks to you if you were able to make it to last year's. Seattle's Department of Neighborhoods mission is to strengthen Seattle by actively engaging all communities. We provide resources and opportunities for community members to build strong communities and improve their quality of life. In today's brief program, you'll hear from 3 community leaders who will share their experiences and connection to Dawn and our work today together, reinforcing this mission. This year's open house is a little different too. We are focused on highlighting the breadth of all of Dawn's program areas, and I'm going to list them. Peat Patch Gardening Program, Historic Preservation, Civic Engagement, People's Academy for Community Engagement Coordinators, Community Liaisons, Equity and Engagement Advisors, Neighborhood Matching Fund, Community Grants, Food Equity Fund, Community Activations, Community Capacity and Safety, our work in the CID, Strategic Partnerships, even the Indigenous Advisory Council, Community Involvement Commission, Seattle Renters Commission, and the Seattle Youth Commission. They're all here represented today. So now, let's get to it. I'd like to welcome our first speaker, who is a community liaison. Our incredible community liaisons are independent contractors from historically underrepresented communities, including immigrant and refugee communities, communities of color, seniors, people with disabilities, and people experiencing homelessness, to name a few, that bring a deep expertise and strategy around the needs of their communities and support city projects through culturally relevant outreach and engagement. Today, I'm excited to welcome Linda Lee, who has served her community for the past 16 years as a journalist, a cultural center administrator, and a Chinese community liaison. Raised up in a family of scholars, she holds several national youth titles in writing, speech, and debate. Her interest in political science led to 5-year dedicated graduate study and academic research in the States, which also laid a solid foundation for her community service and pursuit of social justice. She is a dedicated member of the All-America City Award team from 2005. Please welcome Linda.
I was excited to give this talk until I found out, I will be speaking right after the mayor. No pressure, right? It's great to see so many familiar faces. But if we haven't met before, hi, I'm Linda Lee. I'm honored to serve as a community liaison for the past 8 years. In this role, I act as a bridge between the city and my community by helping make sure voices are heard, needs are understood, and the people have access to the programs and the service that make our city thrive. As a first-generation immigrant, I know how difficult it can be to find your place in a new home, especially when language or culture can make a government feel distant. My goal has always been to make that distance smaller, to make people see that their voice matters, that their ideas belong, and that they deserve to shape this city too. The Community Liaison Program builds trust in communities in two major ways. One is by partnering with trusted, culturally and linguistically diverse leaders who have deep roots within the community they serve. The other is by developing liaisons into community leaders, providing them with hands-on experience, leadership training, and direct involvement in civic processes. Through active participation in city projects, policy discussions, and public engagement efforts, liaisons gain valuable skills in communication, facilitation, advocacy, and problem solving. We learn how to navigate complex systems and elevate community voices in decision making. I'm empowered by the community building work we do. It may seem like small work, but it builds up over time. We unite communities. We let them know they have a voice and help them share it. It is empowering also for this community to know that they can participate in our city's work and that their opinions are valued. It can be daunting to get involved when you might not know that it's even an option and then have to deal with language barriers. One project that will always stay with me is the Democracy Voucher Program. Anybody knows that? Yeah. Many people in my community came from places where they never have the chance to vote, to participate, or to influence policy. I remember writing articles and holding community conversations to explain this opportunity, and seeing people light up when they realized their voices could shape their local government. That's what engagement looks like. Not just informing people, but inspiring them to believe that they belong in democracy, despite the differences in our language. Even with my background in political science, I didn't truly understand the power of grassroots engagement until I became a community liaison. This work has shown me that real change doesn't start in policy. It starts in relationships. It starts in trust. It starts in listening. When we built that foundation, every city initiative, big or small, becomes stronger and more equitable. Community liaisons are already trusted members of the community and are uniquely positioned to listen with empathy, communicate effectively, and build authentic relationships between residents and the city. Last year, I reached out to the management of a local Asian supermarket to introduce the city's initiative on expanding electric vehicle infrastructure and to discuss the benefits of installing an EV charging station in their parking lot. This was way ahead of City Light's outreach schedule, and surprised my project manager, Stanley Chao. But everyone was happy about the connection being built through the community liaison's proactive philosophy. The city can do more when it works with the community, not just for the community. The Community Liaison Program makes that possible. We make government more human, more accessible, and more effective. I would like to collaborate with more departments in the city because I know work is sometimes outsourced to contracting companies. The CO program recruits very trusted and knowledgeable people. We have strong leadership and education background. And we have translation certificates. We are very qualified and cost effective. I hope to see our program establish contact with more city programs to expand our reach into communities across Seattle. Utilizing community liaisons not only saves public funds, but also strengthens local capacity and ensures that city initiatives are guided by genuine community voices rather than transactional outreach. I hope to see this model grow because investing in liaisons means investing in connection, and the connection is what holds a city together. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we give it up one more time for Linda? Thank you. Thank you so much. Next, we're going to hear from someone who is connected to another part of our work. Dawn has partnered with the CID Visioning Group for the last 6 years. We also support FUDEP, a community safety effort, which is led by Friends of Little Saigon. So I'm honored to welcome our next speaker, Quinn. Quinn is the Executive Director of Friends of Little Saigon, a community development organization dedicated to preserving and enhancing Little Saigon's cultural, economic, and historical vitality. Coming from a small business family, Quinn is passionate about supporting small immigrant refugee-owned businesses and fostering community-driven solutions for health, safety, and well-being. Her 14 years of nonprofit development experience have shaped local policy, advanced opportunities for Vietnamese artists and cultural practitioners, and increased investments in BIPOC initiatives around equitable development and small business resiliency. Please welcome Quinn.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Going after Linda, I think, is more intimidating than going after the mayor. That was amazing. Hi, again, my name is Quinn Pham. I'm the Executive Director of Friends of Little Saigon. As Zach has said, we've been around for 14 plus years, and I think the success of our work and the way that we do things is rooted in collaboration and partnership. So I'm here today to talk about the CID Vision Group. This group was formed probably over a decade ago, and it was because the neighborhood had a planning document that was expiring. I think it was reaching over like 20 years since we've even looked at this document. And we wanted to do a process where we re-envisioned the neighborhood, but at the time, that process is very much city-driven, and it lacked community connection and rooted in what the community wanted to see for itself. So some things imploded. I'll just keep it short. And so from there, the CID vision was born, and it was born out of also support from DON and many other city partners around the table. And since then, the CID vision has helped to guide a lot of the visioning, but also combat a lot of the challenges and projects that keep coming to the CID. This is one table where we've been able to bring together a lot of different stakeholders. If you've worked with the CID, you know that this is a beautiful, amazing, culturally rich neighborhood, but we also have a lot of challenges and internal drama, to say the least. Every neighborhood does, you know. And so I think we have finally come to a place where I think all of us have felt like this has been a really great process, and the community has had an opportunity to really drive home what we want to see and what we want to prioritize for the neighborhood. And so, I think it's a model that could be replicated in other neighborhoods across the city. And DON's role has mainly been to help facilitate those relationships, but also coordinate with city interdepartmental folks within the city and is the backbone of some of the kind of back-end things when it comes to working with so many different entities in the neighborhood. Last I would say is there's still a lot of work to be done, but I think resources like this, especially the community liaisons and all the things that DON has offered, has really helped the CID focus on the things that we want to do rather than kind of all the like back-end grant tracking, all of those things. We focused on achieving the goals we wanted to see for the neighborhood and for the community. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Glenn. All right, so next up is a speaker connected to one of our legacy programs, the Neighborhood Matching Fund. As a former community council officer in Capitol Hill, I know how important and valuable this funding can be. The Neighborhood Matching Fund program provides matching dollars for neighborhood improvement, community organizing, and projects developed by community members. It invests directly in community-driven projects that bring people together across cultures and generations. Now I'd like to introduce our last community speaker, Grady Austin, who is Yes, you should, right? Grady is the executive director of Sundiata African American Cultural Association. They produce Festival Sundiata, which presents the Black Arts Fests, originally from Buffalo, New York, came to Seattle because of serving in the Navy. He's a father of 4 and a grandfather of 4. I'd love you to please give your second and louder clap for Grady Austin.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for allowing us to be here. I want to thank Mayor Harrell for his support. I want to thank Director Chao for allowing us to be here and your guidance and support. My name is Grady Anthony Austin. I am the Executive Director of Sundiata African American Cultural Association. We produce Festival Sundiata, Black Arts Fest. It's housed right there at Seattle Center. How many of you have ever been to Festival Sundiata? Yeah, make some noise. We are a 7-member, all-volunteer board. We work all year to produce this Black Arts Festival. And our assignment is to present the Black community to the Pacific Northwest. We are a part of Festal, which houses 25 cultural festivals held down at Seattle Center. They're the cultural programming department of Seattle Center. We see one of the directors, Chelsea. I didn't see where's Chelsea. Chelsea is right there. Chelsea is a advocate of ours, and as I thank you, Chelsea, for your direction and guidance and support. Festival Sundiata, for me, I was going to Festival Sundiata for years. I've only been a part for about 5 years. They asked me to be the executive director. Every time that I went to Festival Sundiata, it was, I could just say it felt like love. It felt like being at home. It's a festival where everyone is welcome at an iconic location, Seattle Center, right? Who doesn't want to be at Seattle Center? What we do, we work all year long, but we don't do it in a silo. There's no way that we could do the type of festival that we do. And we are growing. This is our 46th year. We're entering our 46th year. Yep. And as a festival, we work with a lot of different individuals. It's important for us as a Black community that our children see themselves and have an opportunity to be on stage and have an opportunity to present and look towards their future as a part of our community. It's also equally as important for us as a culture and community that our elders' stories be told in a way that honors our elders and their experience so that it's communicated to the world. Make sense? That's what all of the cultural programs do that are part of Festal, not just Festival Sundiata. That's what I believe is legacy. being able to chart a course for our children and honor our elders. Now, that being said, that silo that I said we don't work in, there is no way we could do what we do without the help of the Department of Neighborhoods and the Neighborhood Matching Fund. We've been getting Department of Neighborhood close to 23 years now. That's a long time. Come on. That's a long time that the city has been supporting cultural programming in this city. And it's so important because when we as a community, and I'm not going to be as long as my predecessors, when we as a Seattle community really come together, this room looks like Seattle. This is Seattle. What the Department of Neighborhoods does, what Seattle Center does, what we do in working with all of our stakeholders is we provide an opportunity for the Black community to present themselves to the world. We, over the last 10 years, we bring in some of the largest names in R&B. We bring in some of the artists. We have a world-class art exhibit. The painters and the graphic artists, they're second to none. So if you haven't been, please mark your calendars for Festival Sanjata. I will close with this. This is how I communicate with our board. It's important, this work that we do as a Seattle community. As a Seattle community, we must work together to make Seattle happen. We must work together to make culture happen. And we can do it. So if you would, just please, play along with me, because this is how I share with my board. Repeat after me. It's necessary. It's necessary. I didn't hear the people in the back. They're not playing along over here. It's necessary. It's necessary. It's possible. It's possible. And together we will do it. Together we will do it. So I want to thank all of you that work with the City of Seattle for the work that you do. I thank you for allowing us to be here. Once again, thank you, Director Chao.
Thank you. All right, before we move, actually, does everybody have your trivia? I can give you quick answers. See if you actually did your homework. Okay, anybody want to know the first answer? Anybody think they know it? Raise your hand. Anybody just shout it out?
Less than 1%.
Great answer. That's right. Less than 1%. It's like around 0.5, I think. That's right.
What's the question for those of us who don't
What percentage of the city is within a historic district? It's less than 1%. It's like 0.5, I think. But if the historic preservation people are mad at me, they can tell me at the office on Wednesday. What is the newest pea patch in the city? Anybody know the answer? Yell it out. Byers Bulldog, great answer. Okay. Can anybody name one of the Indigenous Advisory Council's shared values? Anybody?
humor.
That's right. Okay. Yes, one of them is embrace humor. Great job, Andy. Okay, the other ones are center indigeneity, honor collective responsibility, and build collective power. And the last one is, what is the Sweet and Beverage Tax Fund? Anybody know? Yell it out. Food Equity Fund. Great job. Okay. All right. We are at the end of our program here, so thank you for sticking with us. Our last speaker is the Department of Neighborhoods Director, Jenifer Chao. Jenifer Chao is honored to serve as the Director of the Seattle Department of Neighborhoods. Of Mian ethnicity, Jenifer immigrated to the U.S. with her family as a refugee from Southeast Asia and grew up in Seattle's Central District in Beacon Hill. Yes. Proud UW graduate. She brings more than 23 years of public service experience, including time in the nonprofit sector and as a small business owner. Throughout her career, Jenifer has served and focused on building community, helping young people find their paths, advancing racial equity through innovative city programs, supporting neighborhood planning in the Chinatown International District, and creating Seattle's cannabis equity program to address the harms of the war on drugs. She believes in centering humanity, uplifting community voices, and fostering belonging. Outside of work, she enjoys coffee, spicy food, and time with her 2 kids. And now, I'm honored to call her my colleague and my boss. Please welcome Dawn's director, Jenifer Chao.
Thank you so much, Zachary. Looking out at you all, it becomes emotional because it's so personal to me, this work. As I said, I've been with the city since 2009, and I felt really called home to this role that long. But just looking out at you all, somebody was saying, so what does community look like? So if you look at your neighbor right now and you look around the room, this is what community looks like. And at the City of Seattle, we get to create community. We get to create community wherever we are. It doesn't exist externally, it exists right here. With that said, I also want to just say thank you to everyone that made time, and I really want to give it up to Kim Nam, our DJ. Can we say yes for making time out today to come out and have fun with us? Just do. When I say just do, meaning somebody came and said also, is this how Department of Neighborhood does? And then I said, that's how we do. And then they also said, I don't think I've ever seen a DJ in this building. And I said, it's the second time, because we had one last year, and we'll continue to have. But we steward our money properly, so we just want to let you know. And it is community building. We couldn't do it without music and the arts. Is that not right? All right, so now I'll go into my formal remarks, and then we'll go back to hanging out, connecting, and mingling. So thank you to Mayor Harold for his remarks. Thanks to all of you for spending your afternoon with us, and special gratitude to our community leaders, Linda, Quinn, and Grady, for sharing their testimonies. In uncertain times right now, it can be easy to forget what grounds us. But here in Seattle, we are reminded every day that our shared humanity is embedded in our communities, where people care for one another and see each other as neighbors. And that is why the work of the Department of Neighborhoods is more important than ever, because our mission is to cultivate those connections, honor that humanity, and ensure that the heart of community remains at the center of our city, because every neighborhood has a story. Every neighborhood has a song, a name, a rhythm, culture, families, hearts, and homes. Traditions passed down through generations. Love, loss, grief, joy, connection, relationships. Seattle's neighborhoods holds all of this, and the Department of Neighborhoods carries these stories with care and responsibility. And that is why we are here today. We started with an open house last year so that we could be visible to share with our department partners, I call them our sibling departments, why we are here for you. The Department of Neighborhood exists to support all our departments, to support city government, to make sure people have access to the government and to each other, that they are connected. The open house is inviting our partners across the city to see us as essential connectors. Because when the Department of Neighborhoods is at the table, your work better reflects the communities you serve. Your efforts go further. Your resources are used more efficiently, and your policies and programs embody the true spirit of our city. So what does that look like in practice? Let me give you a sense. The work of Department of Neighborhoods lives in relationships and trust. It shows up in our community liaisons, who are embedded in neighborhoods and communities across the city. They speak the languages, understand the culture, and hold the trust of communities. When you need to reach underrepresented or historically excluded communities, these trusted messengers make it possible. Our community liaisons are the bridge between the city and the soul of our neighborhoods. Through the Utility Assistance Program with Seattle Public Utilities and Seattle City Light, they help families keep the light on and water flowing, showing up for community even when times feel uncertain. Rooted in trust, they open new doors with partners like the Tubman Center and Hummingbird Indigenous Family Services, reaching neighbors we might never have reached on our own. Their insight not only informs our work, it illuminates it. and improves it, reminding us that connection is our greatest tool for equity and belonging. And that the city works best when we work together across departments and with communities to remove barriers for access and improve the lives of our neighbors. Our work also lives in the legacy programs that bring neighbors together to lead the change they want to see, like the Neighborhood Matching Fund. For more than 3 decades, this program has empowered communities to turn their own ideas into action. Our beloved Pea Patch Community Gardens, which go deeper than gardening. These spaces also support food security, intergenerational connection, and reclaiming places of belonging. One example of the power of the Neighborhood Matching Fund is in the GRIT project, or known as Guts, Resilience, Ingenuity, and Tenacity, led by Somality Community Services of Seattle. With support from the Neighborhood Matching Fund, 30 young people who were in deep risk found belonging, purpose, and pride. They built media projects, strengthened their mental well-being, and celebrated culture while transforming how their families and neighborhoods see what is possible. GRIT reignited hope, rebuilt trust, and reminded us that when young people are seen, supported, and believed in, entire communities thrive. When city departments partner with us, you are not checking a box for outreach. You are tapping into existing networks that we have put years into cultivating and continuing to grow. That is our DNA. That is our expertise that we want to gift you. We build relationships that are resilient and transformational. I want you to leave today seeing the Department of Neighborhoods as a strategic partner, knowing how we can help you design, shape, and deliver work that empowers and sustains, work that is genuinely trusted and embraced by the communities it serves. A great example of this is with our Equity Engagement Advisors in partnership with the Human Services Department's Aging and Disability Services Strategic Plan. One of our Equity Engagement Advisors helped design a multi-year outreach and engagement plan that centers underrepresented communities from the beginning, such as our Black and Latinx elders, LGBTQIA+ seniors, people with disabilities, and urban Native communities. By gathering stories and insights firsthand and in the beginning, our Equity and Engagement Advisor helped HSD, the Human Services Department, see who they serve and how to serve them in ways that build trust and efficiency. This is what the Department of Neighborhoods brings: engagement on the ground and strategic thinking that embeds equity into plans, programs, and policies across the city. And at the core of the Department of Neighborhoods is our commitment to equity. We are a strong partner in the city's Race and Social Justice Initiative and are often the first call when departments need to engage underrepresented communities. We show up as trusted partners with proven approaches that amplify voices that have been historically silenced. During the height of the pandemic, our community engagement coordinators were a lifeline for Black, Indigenous, people of color, and underserved communities across Seattle, connecting people with information and resources. Partnering with 17 grassroots and culturally rooted organizations, the community engagement coordinators helped get more than 320,000 personal protective equipment into people's hands, support testing and vaccine sites, and deliver critical guidance through trusted community voices. Working alongside the Urban League, Fathers and Sons Together, Mount Zion Church, and La Roxay Productions, they distributed supplies, brought comfort, healing, and resilience at a time of fear and uncertainty. This is what equity in action looks like, ensuring everyone gets what they need and no community is left behind. So today is not just about showing what the Department of Neighborhood does. It is about city government working together to ensure that every policy, every program, and city investment centers the heart of our neighborhoods. Our work is not only about services or systems, it is about stories and relationships. When we choose to work together to build trust and relationships with our communities, we are showing that their stories matter. That every voice belongs in Seattle's future. And that is what we must carry forward together. So I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for being our partners. And thank you for choosing to invest in this collective work of uplifting the people of Seattle who make the city vibrant.
All right. Thank you. Can we give it up one more time for our director? Thank you. All right. And honestly, thank you for sitting through the program.